Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the October 15th edition of Carolina Week.
I'm Sierra Moore, and I'll tell you why some big projects are causing big concerns.
The State Fair is here. I'm Susan Tarr, and I'll tell you just how safe you'll be.
In sports, we have the soccer edition of the Battle of the Blues.
Weathercaster Laura Pagano will tell us whether it's time to retire our flip-flops and pull out some warmer clothes.
All that and students racing through traffic legally. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the Monday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Carla Babb.
And I'm Adam Rue. Thank you for joining us. Construction can be loud, annoying, and sometimes dangerous. Reporter Sierra Moore joins us from Carroll Hall. And Sierra, this construction it has been an ongoing issue, hasn't it?
It has, Adam, and many students and faculty are voicing concerns about the construction. They say they hate the noise, but the big issue is the possible health effects associated with removing old building material. Carroll Hall hasn't been the same since two new construction projects got underway: the Haynes Classroom renovations and the Science Complex Phase 2 Cedarson addition. These projects will improve the structures of the buildings and add a new science building to the complex. But the extensive renovations have some students in Carroll Hall concerned about their learning environment.
When it's really loud, it's just, I can't think, I can't concentrate.
And the noise isn't the only concern. The potential health problems have teachers like Chris Roush asking questions.
The fact is whether the asbestos or any of the other hazardous chemicals are being sucked into our air vents in this building and we're breathing them.
Deputy Commissioner for North Carolina's Division of Occupational Safety and Health, Alan McNeely, says this is a possible problem.
Most old buildings have it, past 60 or 70 years, everything was built with it because it was such a good product. But now that we're remodeling and doing things, it's a dangerous situation.
The Environmental Protection Agency says prolonged exposure to high levels of asbestos can lead to lung, chest, and abdominal cancer. McNeely says it would be hard for asbestos from these projects to really affect the public because of the low level of concentration.
Most of the time that's confined. As you tear asbestos, it becomes friable, becomes loose, and it's inhaled. And if you're inside, it's a whole lot worse than if you were outside.
But he says if there's an active vent from Venable to Carroll, it could raise the risk of asbestos contamination.
But I would assume, and this is a big assumption on our part, that the general contractor would be doing things right and would seal up areas that would go to other buildings.
Director of Construction Management Sid Stone said there's no reason to be concerned. He says they safely seal off all rooms when dealing with asbestos.
So Sierra, what are the faculty and contractors doing to assure the asbestos won't affect the public?
Well, Adam, the Facilities Department and other groups are meeting Thursday to discuss the options to safely deal with the removal of asbestos.
All right, Sierra Moore live in Carroll Hall. Thank you.
There are new developments in the pit driver case. On March 3, 2006, Mohammed Tahir plowed through the pit in an SUV, injuring 9 people. In June, Tahir told the court he would plead guilty to 18 felony charges. But now, the public defender says the 24-year-old UNC graduate will plead not guilty by reason of insanity. The public defender will have to prove Tahir didn't know the difference between right and wrong, and that he couldn't control himself during the pit attack. UNC is 218 years old, and people spent Friday celebrating. The University Day events began with donuts under Davy Poplar and ended with a dedication of the FedEx Global Education Center. Faculty, students, and other members of the public came to Memorial Hall to hear a speech from history professor Michael Hunt and to see the presentation of Distinguished Alumni Awards.
Municipal elections are coming up and officials are making sure everything's ready. Members of the Orange County Board of Elections tallied up mock ballots Saturday to make sure everything adds up before Election Day. Those who came to the public demonstration in the Hillsborough office asked questions about election results, voting, and more. The board says equipment and electronics are in working order and should be ready for Election Day on November 6th.
The state fair is attracting huge crowds. Reporter Susan Tarr is at the fairgrounds enjoying the food and the fun. But several people were injured at amusement parks this summer, and that doesn't seem to be keeping people off the rides this fall. Right, Susan?
That's right, Carla. And one of those injuries was on a ride just like this one, where you drop straight down. But most people I've talked to have said they trust North Carolina regulations to keep the ride safe.
For just 3 tickets, Beth Woolard got an exciting scare.
It was like really scary. It made my stomach like go in my throat.
The State Fair thrills riders with hair-raising experiences.
I'm like lifting my feet up on the way down, so that way if we hit the bottom, it's like nothing happens.
And nothing should happen, according to Chief Ride Inspector Jonathan Brooks.
We do daily inspections every day, every morning before the midway opens up and the rides open up. We walk around continuously, checking, make sure the operators are operating appropriately.
In fact, the state's regulations are so tight, it's more dangerous to be a ride operator than a rider.
The largest percentages of accidents or incidences that we have are patron-related or operator-related. We have not experienced a mechanical failure in some number of years.
In 2002, a North Carolina State Fair worker died from stepping in the path of a moving amusement device. Brooks brags that North Carolina is the only state with a 100% rule, meaning that all of the manufacturer's requirements must be met before he allows the rides to operate. So no matter how scary the rides feel, Brooks says there's no reason not to come out and enjoy the fair.
I've got 2 small children of my own, and if North Carolina Department of Labor has looked at it and it has a certificate on it, you tell me where you want to ride and when you want to ride, and we'll go ride.
Brooks says the rides are safe only for people who meet the height requirements. Riders should also be sure to read the safety rules posted on the fence outside of each ride. Carla?
That's a great tip. Susan Tart reporting from the State Fair. Thanks, Susan. Well, we all know that people who dance together stay together.
Coming up, we'll take you to a place where folk dancing is keeping a country together.